decision. But substrate, definitely, it's a much better looking way to go and to solve all these problems. If we migrate to the ATP chain to substrate and we're going to be able to do everything like smart contracts and parachains and become, like basically like a small Polkadot, if you wish.
Yeah, I think we have two possibilities. One is we can try to become a small Polkadot.
Yeah.
Or we can go into like, okay, we do it like Bitcoin, so we really try to stay with this like Bitcoin based security model, but additionally we add or we have these like NFT and like asset token functionalities.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, that's the decision. Or we can go both and then swap it later, time.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric. Good morning.
Hey, sorry I'm late, but good to see everybody here.
Good morning.
Yeah, and Andrea, sorry about yesterday.
No, it's okay. It's always a meeting the next day. So I told Ange, don't worry, we're gonna have a meeting today. So
we can talk after this meeting if you're free.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sounds good. I saw you guys already start the discussion about the substrate implementation. I think this is really a good topic to begin with. As I recall that when we started the whole Metaverse project, we actually kind of fascinated about Bitcoin. So basically, the first implementation of Metaverse is lit Bitcoin, right? So it's a UTXO. So given these like 3, 4 years of the whole development of the blockchain, I soon realized, but just share with you guys with my feeling. So there are actually two camps of blockchainer, I would say. So the first one is following the Bitcoin footstep, basically thinking the crypto currency is the way to go. And I think Ethereum is kind of exploring the application side of the game, I would say. I think both of them has their merits. I think at the very beginning myself, when I look at Bitcoin, I said, wow, this is such a revolutionary idea. So if digital cash can be, if cash can be digitized, then everything else can be digitized. So namely assets, right? So assets can be digitized. So if you look Ethereum, these Ethereum's smart contract, mostly they're still dealing with digital assets nowadays. Even they call it the DApps. The most DApps, like current DeFi system, it's still like digital assets. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea just to marry this two, meaning so UTXO and the Bitcoin implementation is very good for the recording the ledgers, right? So it's UTXO, so every input and output of funds is very clear and very secure. So I think ETP chain has its own merit, and I really like the MIT token and MST tokens to remain on ETP chain. But on the application side, if we want to do some application, then the Bitcoin-like implementation might not be the best. I'm just thinking. So come back to your discussion just now, using substrate to add on to the ETP chain. I think this might be a very, very good idea. And also we have this DNA chain already. Look at these days in the Ethereum community, you probably saw Vitalik's Twitter yesterday, I think yesterday, yeah, said about everybody should work on layer 2 solution. I'm actually thinking, the DNA chain is our layer 2 solution, right? So we're already there. So I think last week, I think the previous weeks, we kind of talked about the Polkadot implementation, not Polkadot, substrate implementation plus ETP chain plus DNA chain could be interesting. What do you think? Yeah, that's my opening. Just give you guys my thoughts. Kind of echoing what you guys just said.
Yes, we were just discussing before you joined that basically we have exactly what you described, kind of two paths, one of them being the substrate, and that we kind of just stopped for a little bit to look at this fork, like potential code and fork for the ATP chain, but we're still working on it at this point. As we said in the last meeting, we're just uploading to the Metaverse GitHub all the code which we have developed in Substrate for the wallet, for the blockchain, for the telemetry, and for the Kilt protocol, right? So this should be done with the documentation and ready for everyone to just test it within a month, as we said in the last meeting. But yeah, we can keep working on that. We generally believe since the beginning, as I said, like a few months ago, when we made this decision, we kind of saw that substrate. It's a definitely interesting idea, and it's solving a lot of problem. Of course, the problem is the total migration when, you know, if you're going to decide in time to migrate the actual ETP to the substrate ETP and keeping the current infrastructure of ETP. Now DNA has a separate blockchain. We're looking just at ETP, probably modernizing and adding some of this capability, which you just described. I guess, yeah, it's just a matter of making the decision.
If you allow a little bit me.
Yeah, go ahead, Oli.
Probably not migrating, could be simply bridging ETP to substrate.
Or bridging, yeah.
On the other hand, I would like to ask, would you be so kind, Eric, please, to define a little bit why do you think you said DNA would be the second layer, right?
I think it's much faster, number one, and I think it's application friendly nowadays. Okay. Number one, why do we need layer 2 on Ethereum?
I was thinking, just allow me please to define better my question. I was thinking about layer 2 to something like Lightning Network, which will be allowed to put a layer 3 actually, something. So this is what I would like to understand better.
So some of the applications, so let's talk about, so we've been talking about the protocol layer for very long. I mean, since the beginning of this, this series of meeting, we've been talking about protocol layers. But in the end, nowadays, if you look at Ethereum, there are a lot of dApps. We call it DeFi, decentralized finance, or someone call it, or myself call it decentralized game theory. And they have NFT, like games about NFTs and collectibles, things like that. So there are a lot of applications already on Ethereum. So in the end, when we develop blockchain, we want people to use it. So application is the way for them to use blockchain. So running DeFi on blockchain like ETP or Ethereum, you will soon run into the problem of not enough bandwidth or very expensive gas price. Of course, ETP will not have very expensive gas price, but still, the block size will be very very big, and it will drastically slow the network. I don't think ETP can handle 100 times more than Ethereum do right now. So we need a layer 2 solution just to make the transaction faster. I've been doing this liquidity mining on Ethereum, and it takes 15 minutes just to send one transaction. And you know, Uniswap, in order to use Uniswap, the minimum is like 2 transactions if you want to do anything. Add liquidity, approve token, right? So sometimes it takes 6 transactions. That means an hour and a half in the peak hour. So that's why we need the layer 2 solution, just to, you know, speed up. That's really finance, right? So when we talk about finance, they're talking about seconds, not an hour and a half. So think about application. When we have applications, then you need layer 2. I don't know if that answers your question, Oli.
Okay. Yes, mostly yes, because now I understand that we can hook on the main blockchain. We can hook several layer 2s. Okay, like we can also add a Lightning Network. We have DNA, and we can build on top of them. Okay, right. No, because in my mind was a little bit confusing, because I was thinking that you have a plan to replace Lightning Network with the DNA layer at layer level. So now I understand. Yes, right. You're right. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So that being said, I don't want to dictate the meeting today, but I have one agenda is really about applications. So as I said, you know, lots of applications are on Ethereum, and I can see a lots of applications on Tron and some other blockchain. I saw VChain, they just published a very interesting NFT mining platform. It's interesting. So also Ontology and Neo. So I'm actually thinking that when we talk about protocol layer of things here, maybe we can start think of just take 1 or 2 applications, just run through on our ETP and Substrate and DNA network, see how it goes. So it's like DApp driven development. So use the application driven the protocol layer development. So I think that would be more practical. So we will know when developers come onto our platform, what kind of problem they will face, and we can better serve these developers and communities. For example, you guys probably know this ME platform, don'tbuymeme.com. Don't know if you know that. It's a fun website. Let's say if we want to implement something like that, what are the protocol layer changes we need to make, for example? But anyway, it's just my thinking. Anyone has other agenda, please just say it out
loud. Sorry, Eric, can you repeat the website you just mentioned?
Oh, I put it on chat.
It's on chat. Okay, all right.
Called Don't Buy Me. It's a fun thing to play with.
Okay, with memes. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a DeFi and NFT. They call it NFT combination dApp. It's decentralized and it's fun. So if we want to implement something like that, so there must be something that we need to do here. They're 100% on Ethereum. I think this website can run on ETP alone.
Yeah.
So from what I get from your speech, we like the layer protocol is, I think also it's quite good now. We have MST, we have MIT, we have everything. So we should focus on application or attract developers to build application on Metaverse. Maybe we should do ourselves application first to show what you can do on Metaverse to attract other projects on Metaverse.
That was original thinking, but it kind of require a virtual machine for people to write smart contract, or otherwise it will be us writing the application.
Right.
So I'm thinking, can we have a virtual machine on a substrate and interactive with ETP, or should we just build a EVM virtual machine on ETP?
I think both will be difficult because our UTXO layer will probably be more or less independent from another layer. So I think if you have a VM, which is like, as the name says, a virtual machine, which is its own machine, it will be hard to make it, create transactions that involve, new UTXOs on the UTXO layer. So I think if you want to have programmable assets inside of the EVM or the MVM, then those newly created assets will most likely also be inside of the VM.
Yeah. So it has to be native to the ETP chain, right? Is that what you tried to say?
No, I think it will not be native to the ETP chain. I think it will be native inside of the VM. So I think it will be very hard to combine the current UTXO-based MITs, for example. If you want to, let's say you have a smart contract, and this smart contract should issue new MITs. This would mean that you have some contract. If you call it, it will create a new output. It will create a new UTXO. I mean, it's possible, but I think this will be very difficult because this is absolutely non-existent in existing in the EVM, for example.
Right. So I believe nothing is hard for Andrea team.
Well, as Jorge said once, everything is possible once we know which direction we go and start researching, and there is a solution for everything, more or less, good or bad. But yeah, that probably, I don't know. Oli is the architecture guy in our team. Oli, what do you think?
So basically, I guess that Sven explained very well the situation. The thing is that Substrate was built based on the idea of interacting with Ethereum and EVMs. So which makes it more natural to work. So even the main idea was to work as a relay chain. So building relays with Ether and Bitcoin, because we are thinking something like this. If we want to connect it to the ETP with the Metaverse, we need to look into the library of connecting with the Bitcoin in order to modify the code and then be able to adjust it, adapt it to Metaverse ETP. So basically, this is a sort of natural on Substrate because was the idea in mind, and even the idea of virtual machines is very, very deeply embedded in the Substrate, because working with these extrinsics and in the frame where it's orchestration between a node and the runtime, this is doable. On the other hand, because I kept looking very, very, very carefully into to see if I was not missing anything about the Metaverse, and actually Bitcoin being able to run these sort of smart contracts. I mean, the sort of dApps you are talking about, Eric. So it is a different approach. And again, I say Sven explained very well why that is not, I would say at this moment possible, but I would add very difficult, not probably. I didn't find anything, but I need to also look, we need to look deeper into this quantum PTM because there is something interesting, but anyway, they are not compatible with the EVM. So basically, dApps and smart contracts run, they're a lot more compatible and natural on Substrate. So from here on, I don't know how the things could be organized. Probably, as I said, bridging them and thinking about a sort of orchestration based on that bridging between them. Because in my understanding, also Substrate allowing these sort of parachains, it's probably in the future will be important to be able to hook on parachains and expand the network. And so probably in the future, we will have more chains of blockchains, something like that. So these things need to be considered at this point strategically. So we need to see into the future what will come, because if the future will be in the favor of one type of blockchain or another, we need to consider that. This is my opinion.
I think we should also redefine what is Metaverse. Is Metaverse a UTXO blockchain that has a certain purpose, or is Metaverse more the concept of digitizing assets? And you know, is it, for example, when we started to build Metaverse, we chose Bitcoin or Bitcoin as the framework. But so it's and Bitcoin is a single purpose blockchain. While, you know, Ethereum or some VM compatible chains are general purpose blockchains. So if our use case, if Metaverse, if the purpose of Metaverse is to implement, you know, asset digitization, then, you know, we should have a look at, like, okay, what functionality is needed, and then, you know, is it really necessary to have general purpose? On Bitcoin, nobody complains about not being able to do general purpose.
All right, guys, I'm here. So really happy you guys argue about the final solution for Metaverse. But I've read the paper from George, which is interoperability. The paper says one conception. I really like it. It means the internet of blockchain, and a new architecture for blockchain world is blockchain of blockchains. So it's short as BOB, and the internet of blockchain, IOB. This is a new, totally new architecture for blockchain world, which is we treat blockchains or public blockchains and permission blockchains as our internet. So we people or developer want to build application in future. Maybe we can build some part on Ethereum and some part on Tron or Metaverse. So it means semantic applications built on top of different blockchains. So maybe there are some routing and protocol, interaction protocol between those blockchains. This paper give us three solutions, which is blockchain connectors, blockchain engine, and the sidechain solution. We all know the sidechain solution, like risk And we all know the blockchain engine, which is Polkadot, and the blockchain connectors like sorry, I forgot the projects. But I will say, if we want to create a new architect for Metaverse is really breakthrough. So I want to say we need a better architecture for Metaverse. We can focus on we have to choose a substrate, or we have to maintain all the source codes of EDP. So we don't care about this. We just care about what's the next, what we need. So I will say, if we want to build a better Metaverse, I will say we have to know there's a law. If we want to run Metaverse dual chain, which is the EDP chain and DNA chain, we have to third-party blockchain. So I think the best solution is substrate. So we will have to integrate substrate and the EDP chain and DNA chain together using substrate. So I don't think we have to merge EDP or DNA to somewhere else. So maybe I think we have to take a look how to run the parachains for substrate, like EDP parachains for substrate and the DNA parachain for substrate. In my opinion, I think the key value for Polkadot is not the Polkadot source code, not the core project. It's parachains. So if people want bring value to Polkadot, they have to run too many parachains. So it's different. I will say if we run a substrate for Metaverse, or we just merge EDP to substrate, so that's nothing happen. We need more parachains, or we have to looking for more parachains. So I think the best parachain for substrate is EDP and DNA. So that's the my opinion. And for us, for me, I think if we need smart contract, we can launch the WhatsApp of substrate. That's enough, and we can think about the adding maybe EVM compatible virtual machine on DNA chain or EDP chain. But I think it's a little bit hard to implement if we want to finish the upgrading of Metaverse. So yes, that's all.
Okay. So what I heard was you like to have substrate as the middleware, just to connect everything together, and ETP probably
that is allowed from this paper. It says it prove that if you want to launch the two public blockchains which with different types equal the trillion different blockchain, you have to trust the third party, which is maybe centralized or decentralized. So that is Polkadot.
Okay. Okay. So you think probably we still need a virtual machine on ETP chain itself, and probably another virtual machine on DNA chain. So just make them native to, and I heard.
Probably I think the priority is the WhatsApp virtual machine. because I think it's really, really fast to finish. So we will have a smart contract system.
So you think the priority is the virtual machine, WebAssembly virtual machine on ETP?
Yeah, because I can't say what's the difference, or what happened in future for Polkadot. Maybe lots of dApps will build on top of Polkadot.
Oh, believe me, I do know. I do know the future.
So we will have another, like a third chain, which will combine both DNA and ETP chain to and itself be a parachain of Polkadot, right?
Yeah, what I believe Chenghao is saying that we need to have a tokenless substrate chain that serves as a bridge between ETP and DNA, and potentially I just want to add potentially also ETH and Bitcoin, right? It's kind of possible, and I'd like to respond to what Sven was saying at before, that as ETP a solo purpose blockchain or a multi-purpose blockchain. I think at the very beginning when we create the Metaverse chain, we thought, again, I want to say, when we look at Bitcoin, I thought cash can be digitized, then assets can be digitized. So the whole purpose is digital asset. It's not asset digitization. I think this is two different things. Digital asset is much bigger than asset digitization. So nowadays you see all the DeFi and NFTs are the assets native to the blockchains. So they're not a real world asset that being digitized. So digital asset includes this both of native blockchain assets and the assets being digitized from the real world. So you can say Metaverse is a single purpose, solo purpose blockchain that is focusing on asset, digital asset. Everything is really around this digital asset. Or you can say it's multi-purpose, because if you wanna, it's not it's unlike Bitcoin. It's like just cash, right? So you can do a lot of things about assets. You can lend it, you can borrow it, you can loan with interest, and you can mortgage the asset. A lot of things can be done about assets. So yes, it will be a single purpose blockchain, but a lot of things can be done. So we need applications around these assets. So when I look at the DeFi flourish on Ethereum, and NFT, become harder every day. So I think, well, this is really what we create the Metaverse for at the very beginning. Just to answer your question.
One moment.
I don't know what I said triggered my theory.
Siri's gonna solve the problem.
Yes.
She's gonna come with an answer now.
Oh, I forgot to say AI. AI is a big topic too. And anybody has any other, subjects?
No, we're just gonna make a small update on the ETP code we're working. That we just tested backwards compatibility for the fork, and we just at the command line level we swap tokens, and we're thinking like maybe 2 weeks from now, Eric, we're gonna be ready with that, and then we can focus on substrate.
I just heard that Chenghao said that WebAssembly virtual machine is easy ETP for him. So why don't you ask him to do that?
I think he meant he wanted to say like that the WASM VM would run on a substrate chain and not on the ETP chain.
Okay,
Yes.
so can you clarify?
Yes, as Sven said.
Oh, on substrate. Okay. Yeah.
For sure.
So how do you propose the substrate WebAssembly virtual machine interactive with ETP chain assets and digital identity?
I have no not really idea for this, but I think it's possible, not really hard.
Okay. Probably we need to change a little bit the protocols on the MST and the MNT. Just add a few callable feature APIs that the smart contract substrate can interact with. Maybe, I don't know.
How about is it a possibility that we implement the MIT like all the current Metaverse functionality inside of the WASM runtime?
Yes, but don't you think that defeats our purpose? I mean, yes, you can. Number one, the answer is yes, you can. But isn't that defeat the purpose of having ETP chain? So the whole idea, so nobody complain about Bitcoin's the safety of the Bitcoin, right? So you have assets or say digital currencies on a UTXO chain. It provides you security, but now you migrate this to not so safe secure blockchain, then it defeats all the purpose, don't you think?
But it comes back to my first question, you know, like what is Metaverse? Is Metaverse this asset platform, or is it definitely a UTXO based chain? So because if you want to have it interacting with some VM, and you give this, then you must give this VM some control over your UTXOs. You must allow this VM to, for example, create new UTXOs or consume UTXOs. So if you allow this interaction, then you already weakened the security of the UTXO layer.
Okay, fine.
Maybe.
But can you guys do some research? You know, always sure. People want want everything, right? So don't want to. People always don't want to sacrifice anything. But yeah, okay, let's face the reality. If we can have everything, then will be perfect. If don't, then let's find the best compromise.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is possible to give it some kind of an interaction. Like last time, Chen Hao talked about this, you know, like kernel layer. So I think this is still possible that the ETP chain can, you know, maybe provide some kind of an API to the WASM runtime.
Sure. So Chen Hao, if you can work with Andre and Jorge and Oli and Razvan about these, that would be great. So do some research and communicate and find out a you know, compromise.
Okay.
Great. And I saw this trailer board. We have finally we have this the community engagement. I like that. So can everyone add to the trailer board that who's going to take care of you know, Twitter and you know, other Reddit, so we can know who's doing what there.
Yeah, so first of all, people need to, if I can I just add a little bit, Eric. First, we just need the people to join. Like you mentioned someone yesterday, I mean, in the previous meeting, her name was the lady responsible for some social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I think she's busy with DNA stuff in Shanghai. Yeah, I guess I forgot to invite them. Invite her. Yeah, my fault.
Yes, and then as soon as the people join, they can just put their comment there. Like for example, on Reddit, I put Adrian Floria. I did send a message to the Reddit through Reddit, but no one got back to me. So at this point, I don't have any access to Reddit. But I think what's most important here for the social media coordination, as we said, to define like a once a week message, which can be sent to the community based on our interpretation of how things are going and which direction we're going, so we can keep the community informed as well as much as we can what we're looking to do, which direction is Metaverse going, what new technical aspects we're developing for them, and what they can what they can see in the near future from us. And of course, the now very pressing thing is to have the team here and just get creative with this, bounty. Find the name for the Chrome extension wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if I can share the screen here, can I share the screen?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So you see here our board, and basically the very last one on the right is this blue label here. And if you guys, after you join, you click on it, you see some tasks here. So and everyone can just write a comment, like Oli, for example, is Facebook, right? Although it's still not yet able to post on this, but then whoever's going to join, just state their responsibility. Okay, I'm doing Facebook. I have access to Facebook. I have access to Telegram. I have access to Discord. I guess you guys, Sven and Laurent, you can just put that you have access there. And then we can all of us create a message once a week and then run it by you and just post it there. So
yeah, great.
Yeah, that's it.
Angie, I think if Sharon is really busy at this moment, can we ask Michael to help to coordinate all these things? I think he's capable of communicating to everyone in this group and Shanghai as well, and some of the information in Canada as well. Blues has just created it's centralized swap called SwapAll. So they're gonna list ETP as well. So this kind of information needs to be broadcast to our community, but we don't have anyone to coordinate this information. So can we ask maybe Michael to do that, Angie? Oh, I guess.
Absolutely, I will.
Okay, thank you.
So then Michael would need to be communicating with us, right? I mean, he will disseminate the message, but we will create the content for Michael, right?
Yeah, and he's bilingual too, so it's great.
Okay, so yeah, just let's add him to the team and then start moving on that too.
Can we publish a read-only version of the Trello board?
I don't know. Sure. You want extreme transparency? Let's give the community extreme transparency. I don't mind. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, it's just
The only thing is, if you publish that, you guys have to do what the board says. There's no procrastination or anything. Yeah, I don't mind. Do that.
You can just take screenshots of every task we have there. That's not a problem. It's very transparent, except probably for some links, which we don't want to, give to everyone, but just as a general idea to see what we're working on, sure. You can do screenshots and then just wipe out the links.
Sounds good. Sure, anything else?
Hey guys, excuse my camera. I'm just uploading onto a server and it just kind of chokes my feed, but I've been listening on. I got a couple of updates, I guess, Eric. I did reach out a little bit into the AI world, my friends at Wildfire Games, and we had a discussion. They use open source engine called Pyrogenesis, which I believe that we may be able to integrate the resource allocation and resource management part of the AI engine into the ETP chain. So I did have that chat and it was kind of interesting, and I think it could be done, Eric. Implementing a video game AI engine with features of resource management and resource allocation into a blockchain for like a competitive environment. Kind of interesting. We had a good chat about it. I wanted to share that.
That's great. I mean, but I really want something like simple and easy to understand at the beginning, because we need to try it out if our current infrastructure is easy to use for applications. So can we have something like a reduced version and make sure it works first? And you know, this will be explosive news to the community. I like the idea.
I guess the answer to that is yes, Eric, but I'll need a little more time to organize my thoughts. It's just a few preliminary conversations I've had, but I have an idea. And I think we can share that after I can organize some thoughts and put something on paper.
Yeah, sure. If you need me, we can do a Zoom here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
And on the interconnectivity part or interoperability between the ETP chain and our substrate base, Sven introduced me to the library that ETP uses, the ZMQ asynchronous library. And I think there is some value. I've been doing some research on that to take at least the output from the asynchronous library to communicate with the substrate chain. It's something I've been exploring. So I have to organize my thoughts on that one as well. But Sven put me down the road of taking a look at how ETP uses the ZMQ messaging system. And I think we can integrate that into how substrates work.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I know you're very organized. If you can document this for other people to read, it would be nice.
Yeah, I got to get it out of my head, Eric. You know.
Exactly. You know, let's talk on paper.
I'm working on it.
Great. Thank you. Okay. If that's it, then let's call it a meeting. Let's meet next Monday, and I'll get your access to the social media account. So, Angie, if you can.
Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday and Thursday. Right. Are you still in Japan?
Yeah,
Good luck there.
All right.
Okay.
Hard to say.
Adrian, can we talk maybe in the afternoon? I'm kind of busy after that.
Me?
No, Adrian. That's fine. He muted. Okay.
No, I'm here. So I was just gonna say, send me a message like 30 minutes before the meeting. Yeah, we can do that. No worries.
Okay, great. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good night, Janelle.
Bye, guys.
Good day.
Bye, everybody.